Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Before we kick off, I'm going to ask Mr. Hitchcock if he's got any announcements or housekeeping items that you'd like to get out in front of this morning.
Not before we move into the agenda, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Well, you all have your information in front of you. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda as it's been presented today, please.
So moved.
I have a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. We have an agenda. All right, next on the agenda that we have, hopefully all of you have reviewed the minutes from the March 4th, 2021 meeting. If we have no objections or edits or changes, I'd like to call for a motion to approve those, please.
So moved.
I have a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
I hear a second. Is there any discussion on the minutes of the March 4th, 2021 meeting? All in favor of accepting them as they are, please say yes.
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 Anyone opposed, say no. We have minutes that are approved. From the chair, I have no motions or no information to report. And the next item 3, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mike Hitchcock.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of things this morning. First off, I would like to give the commission an update on yesterday. I testified in front of our Senate Oversight Subcommittee as just to kind of refresh the commission's memory, and I think it's been a while since we've talked about this. Both the House and the Senate have oversight processes that every agency has to go through. I believe it's once every 5 years. We have been under the Senate oversight process for a little bit more than a year now. And I think, some of it slowed down a little bit because of the pandemic. We've appeared in front of this subcommittee 3 times. One was back, I believe it was last February, in February of 2020. And then I appeared about 3 weeks ago, and then I appeared yesterday. And yesterday was really just a continuation of the meeting that we had back in March. The process is they've asked for. We've been working with their oversight staff. We provided them with a lot of the reviews that we've had, whether it be Funston, the Legislative Audit Council, those types of things, as well as our progress in regards to those things, Funston and the Legislative Audit Council, and updating them on our progress. Kind of trying to work through with them to create an understanding of how we manage the plan, how our governance structure, our policies and procedures. So we spend a lot of time with the oversight staff, and we've also obviously had 3 oversight hearings. And I would say on those, especially the last 2, have been very positive. We've gotten a very positive reaction from the members of the oversight subcommittee. There seems to be, from my view, a lot of recognition of the benefits of our simplified portfolio. I think for them it really makes sense. The progress that we've made in changing the portfolio, the progress that we've made on fee reporting, as well as reducing our overall fee load, has all been received very positively. I can't really highlight any areas or anything that I've picked up on in the meetings that they would necessarily be critical of, or that would cause me to have any type of concern that they wouldn't feel that we're on the right path. I've met with the chairman privately, just to go through a few things, and I've received positive feedback from him as well. So, I believe they're at the point where they're about to write a report. We should have an opportunity to weigh in on that report whenever it's concluded. And I'll keep the commission updated, but I would say at this point, our interactions have been very positive. Certainly willing to answer any questions about that.
Mike, this is a question. In your discussions with them, did they have any particular concerns that you needed to address?
I think that there was, creating the understanding of how we manage the plan and what our approach. And we did that very comprehensively. So I think that helped answer a lot of the questions. Like I said, I can't necessarily think of any particular area that they've focused on that I would view as any type of critical feedback on. They seem to be the conversations, the meetings have been with the subcommittee have been very kind of free flowing, very conversational, and it really just a lot of, I would, to borrow one of our core values, a lot of intellectual curiosity on our part, really just attempting to understand what we do and how we do it, but received very positively. Our responses have been received very positively. So, and one of the things that kind of in my continued focus that I've been trying to make sure that I create an understanding of is the investment risk that we have to take on, in order to have a reasonable, chance or opportunity of meeting or exceeding the assumed rate of return, and the impact of having a higher vol portfolio than we necessarily would if we could get a much more normal risk-free rate of return. I think that's also helped create a level of understanding too that I don't think existed before that. Any other questions? Okay. Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, the next item under my report is the consideration of the consolidated AIP and SIOP. As you all are aware, that was presented at our last meeting. I think we went through I think in pretty good detail, the changes that we were looking to make to the AIP, SIOP, both the clean version as well as the track changes version have been posted prior to the last meeting and prior to this one. Certainly willing to answer any questions, but I haven't received any feedback or suggestions of changes in the interim since the last meeting. So I thought my plan was just to present this to you for your approval.
Is there any comments or questions to Mr. Hitchcock before I call for a motion to get this approval from the commission? Hearing none. Mike, would you read the motion for us, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The motion would be the commission adopts the recommendations of the CEO and CIO to approve the proposed revisions to the consolidated annual investment plan and statement of investment objectives, fiscal year 21-22, as set forth in the red number document, pages 12 to 58, with an effective date of July 1st, 2021, and authorize the staff to finalize the AIP SIOP by making any technical revisions or formatting edits consistent with the actions taken by the commission.
I so move.
I have a motion. May I have a second, please?
Second.
I have a second. Do we have any discussions at this point? Hearing no calls for discussion, vote. Can I take a small break here, folks? Anybody who's not making a motion or are needing to be heard on here, could I ask that you mute your device? We're having some feedback issues, and we think that might be the problem.
Okay.
Okay, so again, we've had a motion and a second. There has been no discussion. I'm calling for a vote. Everyone in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Do I have anyone who is against it? Please signify by saying no. All right, the motion carries unanimously. Mr. CEO, do you have anything else for us?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. Moving along to item number 4 on the agenda, our Chief Investment Officer's report. Mr. Jeff Berg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will keep it extremely brief. What you see here at the end of the red numbered document is what we are tasked with doing pursuant to our delegation policy, namely listing for you all the investments closed between meetings. And you can see here that we closed 6 investments in what actually was a very short window between meetings. We were very productive during that time in getting things done. And they are listed here. You've already received material relating to each of these during the window before the final close. Of course, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, but this is just kind of for the record.
Any questions for Mr. Berg involving the delegated investments?
If not, I will close on what I believe is a rather upbeat note. We have recently received our estimated performance through March. This is, to be abundantly clear, not the final performance through March. It's a preliminary number, but for the fiscal year, the plan on a preliminary basis is up 20.2%. So what a difference a year makes, I guess. So happy to answer any questions on any matters, but that is all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Jeff. Next up on the agenda is item number 6, and that is matters to be discussed in executive session. Mr. Hitchcock, can I get you to read that motion for us, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The motion be a motion to recede into executive session to discuss investment matters and specific real asset investments pursuant to SC Code Section 9-16-80 and 9-16-320, and to receive advice as needed from legal counsel pursuant to Section 30-4-70A2.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Matt. I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Everyone in favor of receding into executive session, please signify by saying yes.
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 Anyone opposed, please say no. We are now in executive session. Thank you very much, everyone.